Hey everyone, my friends out there. Welcome back to the Passionpreneur series. I'm so excited to have you back with us today for another amazing interview. Today we have Rachel B. Lee and Joshua B. Lee of Standout Authority. And let me just tell you, if you have been struggling with branding, marketing, and let's not even get started with LinkedIn, this is the episode that you want to watch all the way through. I promise you, you are going to learn so much on this episode. Standout Authority it's brand new to me. And Rachel, I think we actually found each other through, was it social media world? Social media, like one of those conferences. Yeah. There's so many out there. But it's funny how we actually met, and then I was introduced to your husband, and it was just like kismet. I have been struggling with LinkedIn. I know so many other entrepreneurs, small business owners who are struggling with LinkedIn. And the idea of just marketing in general. Like, it's one thing to market yourself through email marketing, through your website, through social media, through this, through that. There's so many different channels. But how do you do it well? And I'm just excited to have you guys on here to really give us a crash course on how to do that. And more importantly, how to be human about it. That's what really struck me. I've been in the marketing sphere for a long time, and it became really clear to me, to be totally honest, about a year and a half ago, that I was marketing to people, literally, and not just numbers, not just order forms. It makes a huge difference in your language and everything. So it just blew my mind that you guys have made that your premise, how to be human, how to come off as being human, and use that in your marketing. So without further ado, I'm going to stop talking now. I would love for you two to take it away and just introduce yourselves and tell us more about you and why should we listen to you?
How should we listen to you? Well, you're already signed in, so might as well keep on listening.
Exactly.
So my name is Rachel. I've been always a passionate marketer since forever, really. For me, marketing is about humanity. It's about people. It's about building relationships and connecting with people and bringing value to them in whatever product or service and offering you have. I started my career on the agency side. So worked for an agency called Walton Isaacson doing multicultural kind of marketing, worked on campaigns for Axe and Suave, and that really built a foundation for me in experiential, digital advertising, really client management, and how important relationships are in building your professional brand, but also building your corporate brand, right? Building something like Axe and whatnot. In that journey, I decided to get my MBA, and that's what brought me here to Austin, Texas. So I came here to get my MBA from the University of Texas Austin McCombs School of Business. And it was in that journey as I realized I really want to be a brand manager. I want to be on the corporate side, that I met Microsoft. And at Mike, I got an internship and then started full time with Microsoft and sort of pivoted to the technology space, which I can't imagine being in any other space beside technology. And I worked on the Microsoft Partner Network, and just so much of my efforts at my time there was about helping businesses, small businesses, large businesses, use the Microsoft tooling to grow through technology. And that actually is quite similar to what I do today. I'm the brand manager. I lead the brand and content strategy for a company called Software Advice, and we help small businesses find the right software through human connection. We have advisors that people like yourself could talk to if you were searching for software and you needed help in your kind of technology transformation. And, if you kind of look at my whole life and career, that piece of the human aspect has always been really at the center of my thinking, and really why I think I do a good job at, you know, being a marketer and branding. In that journey of when I came to Austin, I met Josh. And, you know, we did
I was wondering if I was going to be mentioned.
Yeah, at first I had to talk about me. Lady Boss got to do her Lady Boss thing. But, you know, Josh and I met when I was here getting my MBA, and I moved back to Austin from Seattle to be with him. And one of the things we've always kind of connected on is that marketing and business aspect, which is why we started to partner a little bit, me helping on the branding side for Standout Authority. And I think I can really move it on to who Josh is and let you introduce yourself and what you do, why you do it.
You gotta follow that.
Oh, yeah, sorry, honey.
That was big. Go for it.
Let me see what I can do to be able to follow. Now, I mean, it's been amazing, right? I mean, I look at my journey. I started my first company back in 2002. One of my first clients was a company that most people kind of forgot about these days. We used to monetize, we got the contract to monetize all the traffic for a little company called MySpace. So,
oh my goodness.
yeah. Kind of breaking right in, you know, you kind of hit those, and when MySpace was big and people remember what it was. But yeah, we went in there, we were monetizing, we were able to kind of go in and be able to take that on as a contract. And it was crazy because I was in my early 20s, and that's good and bad, right? You take on a big client, you start your company, things start moving forward. Next thing I know, we're doing, you know, anywhere net on a monthly basis from $2 to $4 million a month net revenue. When you're that young and a guy, you make a lot of dumb mistakes. And you make some okay ones. You learn a lot, and that's what really I did. I was able to learn a lot, being able to work with companies like Google, with Yahoo, with a lot of the big advertising companies, because that's what we were doing. We were monetizing traffic. I built a lot of companies to be able to monetize traffic, from CPA to CPM to CP. You know, all the acronyms that are going through there, cost per click. And throughout that time frame, you know, I've personally managed over $100 million in ad spend. My companies have managed over 300 million in ad spend, and we've controlled over 35 trillion online impressions on our own servers. The biggest thing that I learned was that most people don't know the difference between traffic and actually true engagement. And that was one of those big aha moments, kind of going through, really resetting where I was and starting Standout Authority, because I'm not sure in all that time frame how many people we actually helped. We sold a lot, we monetized a lot, but did we actually help anyone? Did we actually sell things to people that actually made sense? And I wanted to be better. I've got 2 kids, and I really wanted to be able to make a world and be proud of what we were doing on a regular basis. And so I kind of had a outside looking in and looking at Standout Authority. LinkedIn was that platform that really was underserved. And there's so many people spamming and pitching and going through, and look, I don't like that. I don't want someone to spam or pitch me. So I thought the biggest change for that was really, how do we actually connect and engage rather than sell and pitch? And that was the biggest thing, was there is no B2B or B2C, because that was just made up by marketers like myself, right? To be able to diversify our ad spends. Truly, every company is run by another human being, and that's what we really need to remember and understand. So that was kind of one of the biggest changes and aha moments for me, was how do we help people educate, inspire, and draw them in on a platform that most people don't, rather than sell or pitch. And so that's what we do at Standout Authority. We really kind of go in and we teach marketers how to be human online again.
I love that. I absolutely love that. I love so many pieces of that. The fact that at the core of it, you want it to serve on a higher level. You wanted it to feel good in your soul.
I mean, now more than ever, right? We're in COVID. It's going to be post-COVID world that we're creating. Everything that we believed was going to be for the next 20 years is now wiped out. We have an opportunity to stand out as leaders and to create the world ahead of us and make it better than where it was going, because we were living in a world of automation that forgot about the human side of being online.
Yes.
And there are more people than ever, especially right now during COVID, that are online that don't know how to be able to connect with another human being and how to treat them with the respect that they deserve. And that's what it's all about. How do we actually stand up? That's why Rachel and I are here today is, how do we actually start creating the future? Because that's what we can do right now, all of us together, and make it better for not only our kids, but for everyone's kids.
Oh, I love that. So before we go deeper, I'm still so curious. Why LinkedIn? What was the connection there?
For standout authority. Well, so
notice I always let her speak first.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give
Well, there's a why LinkedIn question, and there's just a piece also for I guess Josh and I, and why we've kind of partnered in particular with Standout Authority. When I was at Microsoft, it was at the time when the acquisition of LinkedIn happened. That came through in January of 2017, which was shortly after I started. And while I was there, I knew the massive opportunity LinkedIn could give to businesses, a business conversation to professionals, not only in the member-only mentality the platform has, but in the integrations possible with a company like Microsoft. And so when you think about a technology giant like Microsoft owning LinkedIn, it is more powerful, in my opinion, than a Facebook, Instagram, let's say, or a Snapchat or TikTok, or, all these the cool kids doing right now. I guess Facebook and Instagram would be the one comparison in terms of power and data and capability. I built a social selling program for the partner network, and I incubated it and tested it because I could see how important it was for the biz dev folks. I saw in our own company 30,000 at Microsoft, 20, 30,000 sellers who needed to get out of that cycle of cold calling. I saw what we were doing to bring social selling to our sales folks. I thought, wow, I need to bring that to businesses and partners outside of the Microsoft world. And so when Josh and I, as we were really building our relationship and we were connecting at a business level, we thought, this platform is so powerful for the entrepreneurs, the small business owners that he works with, as well as the corporate side. I'm on the corporate side the past several years. I'm also part of, I'm a MBA industry consultant, career fellow, and I'm helping teach students how to build their persona, how to build their brand so they can get a job. And so when you say, why LinkedIn, it is the most powerful tool when it comes to the professional business world, building careers and building business, 100%. When it comes to recruiting, when it comes to sales, marketing, just really the power of the platform, especially since acquisition in 2017, we're only scratching the surface, right? Josh can go into all of the details, the LinkedIn Live, the hashtag, the sponsored content, all of that is just really kicking into the gear in the last 2-3 years. And so, I think we had the foresight, Josh, even before, right? He's had Standout Authority 5-6 years, and he saw the power of LinkedIn. So he knew even ahead. And now we're in this critical moment where, small businesses are grasping for air. They need money, they need marketing, it's literally transform or go out of business. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's the content that I'm creating right now. And they're going to Josh to say, how do I use LinkedIn? I can't do an event anymore. I can't fly anymore. I can't get to that person that's in Australia that I've been trying to talk to, right? Like, LinkedIn, this is how you do it. this is where it goes.
It's such an underserved platform too, because people don't understand it. They go, oh, this is a place where I go find a job.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't realize the power this platform really has. I mean, your organic reach on LinkedIn is like Facebook circa 2008. You know, we look at Facebook, we spent years getting all these likes to our pages, and now we have to pay to get in front of them.
Right.
LinkedIn rewards you and enhances your organic reach by what you do on the platform more so than how you spend on the platform. And if you do the right things that are around social selling to really engage, connect, educate your audience, you will get a greater organic reach. And it's such an amazing ability to be able to do that, because most people go, oh my God, you're wearing a shirt? I'm wearing a shirt. Let's connect on LinkedIn. We've got to be perfect. And you're like, what? Or, you get the whole, my sales team can help you with whatever you do, but I didn't take 2 seconds to actually look at what you do, but I'm going to pitch you 2 seconds after we get on. There's such a better way. And I mean, that's what the opportunity is to be able to help these people that have products and services that add value to this world, and be able to teach them how to connect with their audience and not go after so many people on LinkedIn. You see it. It's like they're going to pitch 1,000 people and they're excited to get that one sale. I go, you just pissed off 999 people. How about if we actually treat everyone with respect and connect and engage with them? Even if you still get that one sale, you just made 909 advocates.
Right.
I want to go after advocates first and make the byproduct clients. And it's a much stronger way to be able to do business that works in a short term and a long term. And LinkedIn allows you to be able to do that. And you can be the butterfly on that platform because so many others are swimming the other way.
You both just nailed it on the head, exactly where I was going, actually, because I'm thinking about the audience that's watching this. And I would say it's pretty much split down the middle. I call them the baby entrepreneurs. So they're 1 to 2 years in. They're still figuring out their business, their ideal client, all of that, like what they're doing. And then I have the person who it's still their side hustle. They have a full-time job. They're still figuring out, can I make this my full-time? Do I want to? Right. And so, my interpretation of LinkedIn was exactly what you said. It's if I need to find a job, that's where I go. I post my resume, I make connections, try and find those people that will hire me. But that was the extent of it. So I'm really excited to learn now, like, first of all, is there any business that will not benefit from standout authority, from being on LinkedIn, from using your methods, etc.?
I'll be 100% honest. I mean, this is kind of where now Rachel might have a slightly different take on what I look at, but I mean, I look at it as the way that we actually teach people to connect, because it is a more hands-on. LinkedIn is very against automation. If they find you using automation, they will boot your account. So 100%, when you sign up with them, you will not use automation on their account. And, a lot of people go, well, if you're looking to sell 1,000 widgets, at like $10, that's the way we actually show people how to be able to connect and engage with all of your audience and true engagement marketing. That takes a lot of time and effort to be able to do. So, I mean, you really want to you're not looking to be able to sell $10 products on that platform. You have a higher level of audience on that platform. 50% or more of that audience has a college degree or higher, so you have an educated audience. And then your average incomes, which really are important, because if you're talking about someone that wants to buy your product or service, they need to have a higher disposable income, especially now more than ever, right? Because we're very limited on those things. And I mean, you look at the different averages, I believe like Twitter's around $58,000 a year. Average income. Facebook's around $64,000 a year. Do you have any guess what the average income on LinkedIn is right now?
100, a little higher.
It's 118,000, right around there. Now, again, these are all pre-COVID numbers, so things kind of run around, but we've just seen more engagement. So, I mean, you have someone that has a higher disposable income. So that's why I like that's where you kind of look in, who's your audience?
Right.
Know your social platform and where you need to be able to go in. Like, I look at Facebook, there's definitely an opportunity on there, but people go to lose themselves in someone else's life on Facebook. On LinkedIn, I believe people are going into to be able to get educated, or to be able to make a buying decision. They're not going in and going, well, how's Joe doing today with his kids? And that's not why they're going in. I mean, on Facebook, people are spending about 17 minutes a day, while LinkedIn people are spending about 17 minutes a week. So you have to be clear, concise, and they're not looking to be able to lose themselves in someone else's life.
So it needs to be important.
So again, there's all this.
I mean, everything. And, I think when you're a marketer, you have to be really intentional, especially if you're that small 1 to 2 year business side hustle, right? You have to be super intentional with your time and the platforms and marketing that you're using. Mm-hmm. So one, are you building your own brand? You, Brandy. I need to build Brandy because Brandy therefore helps build my product, Passionpreneur, right? And those are two different approaches, but very much related. I, Rachel B. Lee, build my brand on LinkedIn. It is where my audience is. It's, for me, there's just so many reasons why I don't see one human being, truly, that should not build a presence on LinkedIn. Yeah. A professional person. I don't care what you do, right? Because
and that's presence versus pitching, right?
Right, your brand, right? And if I'm therefore, Joshua B. Lee builds his presence, his content, his curation, he becomes an influencer, which then leads to business for him. That's influencer marketing. So for me, that's influencer marketing. And I think LinkedIn is the most powerful place to build your credibility as a business owner, as a marketer, whatever function you have. More than Instagram, absolutely. Instagram is going to be a place for visual, for CPG, consumer product goods, female. It skews a little bit more female. We know this. It's very visual, right? So you tell a story visually, but can we have a business conversation? Is it fully going to actually convert? It depends. It really depends. At the end of the day, that's lead generation and demand gen to drive to conversion. LinkedIn, you can create an event page and convert on there. Marketo is integrated into the platform, right? You kind of have to get really smart about what you're trying to do. So I think every platform has its purpose. If you are a fitness expert, my best friend is a fitness expert. She doesn't do a ton on LinkedIn, right? Mm-hmm. Her platform is Instagram. But at some point when she might want to get funding, or she might want to be featured in a magazine, right? Fitness magazine. Where are you going to go find the editor? Or
exactly.
Where are you going to go? You're going to go to LinkedIn. And guess what? If you don't have a presence and your profile looks shitty and you don't have the connections, you'll never be able to find that editor at Fitness Mag so that you can build the business that you want. And so it's just, for us, it's so critical. I mean, I'm coaching students now that are coming out of their master's programs and they're looking for jobs. And I tell them, what you build today is going to come back to you 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. You don't know. You don't know what connection you're going to need, what business you're going to be in. You don't know. So no matter what, whoever is listening to this, know you must have a presence on LinkedIn. Your business you might use it strategically in different ways. Do you need a company LinkedIn page? I don't know, probably, but maybe it's more effective for you to be on Instagram right now.
Right.
But yourself need to build your personal brand on the platform.
Yeah. You need Sprout Social shows that 45% of all social media traffic to your homepage starts from LinkedIn.
Yeah, for B2B companies, especially.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when you think about that, of all the different social media platforms out there, people are doing their research. They're, before they ever talk to you, they're looking you up. And that's one of the platforms they're going, because it is considered one of the most trusted platforms out there.
Right.
Should everyone have it? Yes, everyone should have a personal profile. That's your personal profile is what is key of all, too. I mean, make sure that's on point, because that's the tip of your spear. That's what can do all the selling for you. If you actually are just engaging, connecting, and educating, inspiring your audience, you'll never have to sell if your personal profile is done well. and complete.
This is golden. Okay, so now let's talk more about what your masterclass, your service actually is. How do we get involved in this?
Yeah. So, I mean, I've been blessed. I mean, throughout my company, you know, I've been able to really work with people that I used to read their books on how to be able to start my own companies 15 plus years ago, right? Different coaches like Dan Sullivan, John Maxwell, and many others that I get to work with, along with some corporate companies as well, starting up now. And one of the biggest things that I've learned throughout that whole time frame is there's so much bad information that's being disseminated across the platform to other people. I don't know how many times I can tell you, I get so many people that'll reach out like, hey, Joshua B. Lee, or hey, Joshua B. Because my first name on LinkedIn is Joshua B. So it allows me to be able to pick out automation really quickly when it says, hey, Joshua B, I personally checked out your profile. I'm like, didn't? Yeah, no, I know you didn't. Just grab the first name.
Yep.
And they're like, have you ever thought about using LinkedIn to get leads? Well, if you look at these people that are calling them LinkedIn experts, they took a course. All of a sudden now they're going in and you look at their profile, 3 months ago, they might have been delivering pizzas. And they're sharing bad information and they're just teaching people spammy techniques. True social selling has nothing to do with spamming people. It's not taking your spammy techniques that you did offline and now taking it onto social. That's not social selling.
Right.
It's about engaging, educating your audience, inspiring them to connect with you. And that's what we kind of teach. I finally, Rachel was like, we've got to put out a course that, yes, I work with a lot of high profile clients, but we've got to put out a course that everyone, to be able to educate them on how to be able to build a profile, how to be able to build a company page, how to be able to search for, engage with your audience, how to listen. Social listening is such a key factor. Like Sales Navigator is the CRM system built in within LinkedIn. And most companies go through and use it to market and spam. You can use it to listen to your audience and engage with them first and find out what they're into before you ever have to go in. There's so many different ways. And we take people through a 6-week course, taking them through in small groups online each week and really show them. And it's not something that you're going to go through in recorded courses. It's a live course taught to be able to take them through and teach them how to be able to truly engage, inspire, and draw in their audience. And that LTV that you get, lifetime value of a client, when you actually draw in that you don't sell, is amazing. And this is what it's all about. That's what the course is, to really teach them. I wouldn't even say it's a LinkedIn 101. It's LinkedIn 102, because we show them how we're doing, what we're teaching these coaches, these other companies, how to do it on a daily basis, how to be able to engage and be able to draw out their messaging to build real connection and opportunity at the same time.
I love that. So I just interviewed someone regarding, well, his whole thing was putting on the customer's hat. So going out there, talking to your customers, your clients, listening to them, like asking them, what do you love about my business or my product or my service? And using that as the way to communicate and for your marketing. Right. And never feeling like you're actually selling, because you're just giving them what they're already telling you they love.
And that's the thing. You have to not only create space for you to be heard, but you have to create space for your audience to feel like it's being heard as well. And that's where most people miss out. They forget to try and create the other space for their audience to feel like they're being heard. And when you do that, you create space on both sides, opportunity, amazingness happens there. And I mean, that's what we kind of go through and do, is how do you break the human cycle of being online? Because the human cycle that we've been conditioned over the last 10 years is to comment, like, share, post, comment, like, share, post, comment. You've got to be able to break that. And I mean, that's one of the biggest things we do is, one, listen to your audience, but two, I love appreciation. I think that we don't appreciate enough in this world. And that's one of the biggest things that we teach people how to do is, through engagement marketing, engage with people that engage with you. I mean, when's the last time someone reached out to you when somebody liked one of your posts and you reached out and said, hey, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate it. Too often you don't appreciate these things. I'd love to be able to find out what pushed you to check out my post. The conversations and the opportunity that create because you appreciate something for something they've never been appreciated for, and the opportunity that presents itself because now they're being listened to, is amazing.
Right. Yeah. Well, and I think all of that. And I mean, you build that emotional connection with somebody, then you can start having a conversation
Right.
around conversion, right? Then you've developed, okay, I see you. You built an emotional connection. There's more trust. Then you can actually work on this conversion, whatever that is for you, right? Conversion to watch a webinar, fill out a form,
Jump on a phone call.
jump on a phone call, which is especially, for entrepreneurs, small businesses and services and stuff. I mean, ultimately, right? Like, we're using all these platforms absolutely to be connecting and that awareness and scale. But I'm in a business where I'm on these platforms to also convert and to monetize. And he is too, right? People are paying him so that they can build that connection, but monetize. We need to make money too. And it's, once you've built this relationship a little bit, makes it a lot easier to say, hey, go check this out, or, kind of push somebody down the funnel. A lot easier of a conversation. So I think I don't want to lose sight of that in the class, right? That it's using the methodology not to just be human, yes, first and foremost, but we're business people here, and we understand we need to also, draw those conversions and grow our businesses and help and do more together. So that's that piece. Whatever that conversion is for you, that's the whole point of all this too.
Yeah, to be able to define that and be able to find the best way forward for you to be able to do it,
Yeah.
and feel good about doing it every day, and be able to see that return each and every day.
Well, I mean, from where I sit, it basically sounds like you're just helping us take that cold lead to a warm, to a hot,
100%.
hopefully faster, and all because you're asking the right questions, you're listening, you're engaging with them.
Yeah, we show our clients, how to, and in the class as well, how to be able to take a cold lead, someone that engages on one of your posts, and be able to turn them into opportunity. We've done it in less than 7 days to be able to go in for someone to be able to purchase it like a $10,000 product. And it's being able to have these different multiple touch points, making it about your client first and foremost, and building that connection, like Rachel said, and then presenting them with an opportunity that they had, because you're asking different qualifying questions, and when they answer that qualifying, then you can present them, right? Rather than pitch someone and not know if they're qualified or not. That's where most people miss out on, and that's why people get a bad taste in their mouth. And that's about LinkedIn, because they're always being pitched. Right. And so we show the tools on how to be able to find, engage, attract, and close your ideal clients without ever selling, pitching, spamming, or even needing to advertise.
So I can already hear some of the audience members. They're like, okay, I'm a one-man show. First, you're telling me I can't have systems as far as things to push, post and things out automatically. And now you're saying I need to actually have a conversation with people instead of just liking, a heart or whatever to their post.
Right.
What is the response back for someone who believes that? We're saying those things.
And here's the thing. To be able to have opportunity, you've got to be able to put some time and effort involved into it, right? Things don't just magically come. And, the easy path is not always the best. But with what we're doing here, you can be able to do this less than an hour a day and be able to see returns. When you're talking about, like, I value time over money. So, it's always about how do I optimize my time? And one of the biggest things is we want to be able to show you what we've already learned, what we've already tested, what the big guys are using. And let me show you, rather than try to, how to be able to do that in the most optimized fashion to get the most results possible.
Yeah, I think also, that automation question, like, what do you mean exactly? Like, what are your goals, right? So Josh comes from this perspective. He works with a lot of high-end services, a lot of entrepreneurs, some corporate brands, right? They're just different goals in mind. So if you're trying to sell a $10,000 ticket item, I don't know how many you need to sell. Like, you can nurture through your brand. But if my goal is I need to build brand equity, I need to build awareness. I need to I just need people to know my brand, right? Then, yeah, using sponsored content, for instance, LinkedIn marketing, right? Advertising, because that's going to help you build your brand to start engagements. So people start liking and commenting that then you can start to engage with. So, and I don't want to call it automation, by the way. That's just marketing at scale, right? That's modern marketing. But it does depend on where your business is at, what you're trying to sell, who you're trying to sell to, what industry you're in. I mean, there's just so many factors. And so I don't think that automation and in Josh's sense, like mass marketing and sending 10,000 messages to Joshua B. Lee, hey, have you checked out my video service, is bad, poor form. Bad, poor form.
Right.
Right. It's
Brandy,
just,
if you see an ad, right?
Oh,
If you see an ad, if you're in a digital funnel, right? Most times. And you probably know if you're in automation, right? If you're in an automated sequence. So why do you think that if you were going to do it to someone else, why do you think they won't know it? And that's the biggest thing that I want people to realize. They go, oh, well, I know those things, but the person I'm trying to market, most times our clients are just like us, because that's why we become entrepreneurs, right? We want to help people like us from our own personal experiences, because people buy from people they relate to.
Yeah. It's just, and there's mass marketing like that, no matter what forum you're on these days, is just, that's old way of doing marketing. Even if you talk about like advertising now, right? It's not just about impressions. Everybody's asking, well, what's your conversion? What's those impressions? What was the engagement rate, right? What was that conversion rate? And so it's not to say that you can't be doing those sort of mass things. We do these things. We have a huge paid search budget, right? We do paid social and all of those. Absolutely. Highly important for us to monetize. But you're strategic about it. What is your goal? What are you trying to do? And especially if you're a small business owner and you're selling a product or service, which is a lot of the clientele that Josh works with, like this human, and on LinkedIn in particular, it's highly effective. Highly
You don't
effective.
need that 100,000 list anymore. When you're doing this type of engagement, I mean, think about it. If you put out clear, consistent content that someone's engaged with, that's an opportunity. You inspired them, so that's opportunity. If they've checked out your profile and you engage with them, that's opportunity, right? I mean, you just got to follow it through. You're not having to have these, you don't need these 100,000 lists anymore. You're actually connecting with the right people each and every time and starting conversations, real opportunity, and drawing them in, so you have higher conversions with less people having to be able to do that reach out.
That's pretty powerful. So, okay, we have had it just ingrained in us now that the power is in our email list. Like we know we don't own Facebook, Instagram, even LinkedIn. Is getting people from LinkedIn to your email list easier, so to speak, when you're going through LinkedIn because of the quality and of people on there and being able to pre-qualify them?
I think the opportunity is there. I mean, you never want to sell on LinkedIn. I mean, let's just be real. You want to have conversations and take them off if you're trying to be able to do that. If once you've gone through the process and you've identified this person, you've added value to them and had the conversation, you can offer, wow, I'd love to be able to add value to you. Here's a downloadable PDF that I think will really add value to your life, right? I mean, I'm always a big fan on, once you ask the right qualifying question, they'll self-identify if they're an opportunity or not. Now, most people, the not opportunity, they walk away and never talk to you. I'm in the boat of going, wow, that's an amazing way to be able to answer a question. Hey, I want to be able to give you this piece of value, because you never know when they might turn out to be a client later. They're just not right now. So when you're going through this whole process, you always want to be able to do that. Wow, it's an amazing way. Hey, here's one ebook, or here's a piece of white paper, here's a download PDF, because then they can put their name, email, and whatever, and you can be able to grab that from them and be able to then add them to your list, and then you can continue to nurture them offline, off LinkedIn as well.
Yeah, I mean, through LinkedIn, you can get lists, but it's a little bit dangerous because people use their personal emails, not their business emails. And so something you want to be careful about. the, if you're doing, if you are doing sponsored content or actual lead forms or whatnot on LinkedIn, which are can be highly effective. I know we've had success. That's a good opportunity to get the email through a piece of content that they've downloaded or a conversation, but even in that conversation that Josh has created, the messaging, a lot of times he's going to push them into that quick landing page, right? That a quick landing page opportunity, capture the email. I think as with any sort of demand gen activity, I think that landing page and have a quick opportunity. Of course, LinkedIn has some of those things embedded in the platform where you don't have to take them off platform. Facebook has it too, and Instagram. Right. But if you're thinking about LinkedIn, can I use this to like scrape emails and do like things like that?
Please don't.
That's not great. But using it as a way as lead gen in a normal sense, and still using whatever your landing page, that little conversion form to get the emails. I think that's still the better practice when it comes to marketing. That also protects you with, GDPR and any sort of somebody opted in, you got their email, and now you're sending them content. So you do want to just have those kind of customer data and security things as well.
So going back to what you mentioned earlier, where the average person spends, I think you said 17 minutes a week.
You're looking about 17 minutes a week on LinkedIn versus 17 minutes a day on Facebook. So there's a dramatic difference. And, your content, you want it to be clear, concise, to the point. You evoke an emotion. You're not looking to be able to do a 10-minute video on LinkedIn. We've seen the most results in 30 to 60 seconds, because you want them to get to the end of it.
Wow.
There's consistent across every platform. Most people don't watch more than 7 seconds of the video.
Right.
They're either watching barely any of it or the whole thing.
Right.
You've either got them through the first 7, 10, 15 seconds, therefore they're going to watch 10 minutes, or because long form content is performing highly well,
right?
But if it's good content,
right,
that's
the key.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's always the biggest thing, is like, how are you going to add value? I mean, the where we see people shine through on LinkedIn is always adding value, not speaking at people, but speaking with people.
Mm-hmm.
There's different ways to be able to do that, right? I mean, you can take out your phone and do talk to text to be able to speak conversationally. Because most of us weren't taught to write conversationally. You and I are speaking, how we are speaking right now. But when we write, we're speaking at someone.
Right.
I hate being spoken at. So how do we actually start a conversation with someone? And those are those different pieces that you kind of really need to think about when putting content, when connecting with people, asking questions, pushing for engagement, because that's a lot of the fuel on LinkedIn is comments over likes and shares.
Wow.
So that true engagement.
I mean, and I just think in general right now, for any sort of content marketing, I don't care who you are, what you do, if this is the business you're in, it's quality over quantity. And
content's not king anymore.
Content is not king. It is about less is more. Do a great job creating awesome content that is data-driven, impactful, engaging, unique, compelling, authentic, all of those things, brand-centered, customer-focused. Do that, have one post a week over spam on LinkedIn for sure, right? Max 2 posts a day if it's a company page, 1 really?
LinkedIn, so here's the way the LinkedIn algorithm actually works is if you 1 post a day, if you post a second time within 2 hours, you have to get twice as much engagement as the first one to get the same amount of views. So if you got 10 likes and comments on the first post with 500 views, you get 500 views again, you're going to need to get 3 times as much. So you're going to get 30 likes and comments to get the same amount of views, because they're not looking to be able to get tons of content from one heavy user. They want content from max. And so unless your name is like Tony Robbins, Ariana Huffington, Gary Vaynerchuk, that have that kind of following, 1 post a day is what you need to be doing. Now, if you feel like you just have to post, at least wait 3 hours before your next post. Post in the morning when people, before they go to work, post after they get off of work. Think of those time frames. And it is a business platform. So think about, that's when people are looking at before work, during lunch, after work, 5 to 6. So these are those things that you want to kind of think about when you're doing these posts and shares, and add value. Don't talk about yourself all the time. Talk about, if you want to talk about your company, share stories of how you've helped people or your why. That's what draws people in. People connect with other people that they relate to, and they appreciate you being able to say how you've helped someone, not how you can help someone.
I love that. I love that. It always goes back to storytelling.
Yeah.
Yes, always.
I love that. Does LinkedIn favor if you add links to your post? Is that a negative? Does that count against you?
I've seen, now it kind of goes back and forth, because, we do different, with the different companies, but I mean, we've seen that, like, look, it's like with any social platform, if you link off platform, you will get dinged. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I always push my clients to be able to, if you're going to link off platform, there's 2 ways to do it. Either do the post and then put it in the comments, or articles are amazing. I love LinkedIn articles because they're multimedia fashion. Because one, you can put videos, you can put content. There's multiple different ways that you can be able to do that. And at the end, you can have a CTA that does not ding you that links off platform.
So what are LinkedIn articles? Is that a separate part of LinkedIn, or?
So there's ways to be able to do your regular post, and then you can actually do an article as well. It says post article right underneath there. And then you can actually, it's like a blog form. And I've seen SEO wise, a LinkedIn published article can actually show up higher in Google search results than actually the one on your own platform.
Oh my gosh.
Because
I had no idea.
Talk about Microsoft being in here. You're talking about LinkedIn.
Oh my God.
We see sometimes 50 to 60%, if not higher, engagement ratios, because your audience knows when you post an article as well too. And
wow.
Yeah, so amazing stuff, because you can put video. People relate. They want to be able to, if you can actually, people read differently, right? Some people like to watch YouTube. Some people like to listen to a book, and some people like to read a book. Mm-hmm. Well, in an article, you can be able to post different forms of content, how people can connect in it, be able to take in your information the way that they want to take it in. So we kind of go through these things, right? Like, don't format in the way you want. Put in a format that is most consumable by the person that you're trying to connect to. Give them multiple options. And that's why, articles really allows you to be able to do from pictures to video to contextual within that.
Okay, that might be the golden piece right there. I had no idea about that. I'm very excited about that.
And you don't get dinged like, where it says, oh, don't post your blog in multiple different places.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a negative impact come across that when you take your blog and repost it on LinkedIn. We haven't seen a negative impact come from that aspect. So it's one of those few cases that you can take old content and refresh it by really putting it back on a new platform.
Mm-hmm. That is huge.
Or post half your blog and then say, hey, check out the rest, drive them back to your page. Now you can pixel them. Now you can get them to your list. Now there's opportunity to be able to go through. So there's lots of different, as I said, there's no one fit for every person, right? Not every company fits, and there's not one way. Everyone go, oh, Facebook works for everyone. It does. LinkedIn works for everyone. It does. My program works. Look, this is why we do our classes through that. We do them live. We have smaller classes because we want to be able to adjust. It's with everyone, there's always a 1 degree shift that you have to be able to make, and you have to be able to communicate that.
Right.
That's why we do the classes the way we do. We do the master class the way we do it, because I want to be able to make sure that not only am I teaching connection and engagement and inspiration, is I need to be able to do that with the people that we're working with. And the only way to do that is to have conversations with them, not just go, here's a class, consume it, and you're going to be good.
Right. Okay, I'm totally fired up about this now. So when is your next class?
So we do it every time. So every time we get 10 people fill in a class, we start a new one. So that's usually how we're usually rolling our classes out. So when we get 10 people that roll in the class, it's usually once a month we're kind of rolling out a new class.
And you said it's 6 weeks? Yeah. That is awesome. That is very cool. Mm-hmm. And you're both doing it together, or you're like ping-ponging it? 1 week you lead it, the next week Rachel leads it?
I'm leading most of the classes that actually go through. Rachel does come in to be able to do branding sessions and stuff like that if someone's looking to be able to add that in.
That's
yeah.
so awesome.
We worked on actually building out the structure together.
Yeah.
So the whole class is built together, and then Josh does a lot of the leading, and then we have a community, and so we'll engage in the, I'll engage in the community and whatnot, to kind of offer any thoughts and encouragement.
Yeah.
So even after the class itself is done, there's still a community there. There's still connection.
100%. Yeah. We want to make sure that because things are constantly evolving and changing. And I mean, you don't want to just say, oh, this is good forever, right? So you want to be able to share, answer questions, because we're talking about human connection. So we've got to be able to stand for it 100% all the way through.
All right, you guys, final thoughts. Any final takeaways you want to leave us with?
I'll let Rachel. Anything? No? You want me to?
We didn't talk a ton about your personal brand, but I think with all of everything we talked about, none of it matters if you don't stand for something. If your brand doesn't stand for something, your personal brand, your company brand, and that value proposition that you create, why are you in business? What do you do? How do you do it? And most importantly, who do you serve? You have to start there. If you don't figure that out, none of this will make any sense.
The strategies that we teach, you have to have this before you can go through strategy. So many people go, oh, here's strategy, before they help do true branding and understanding.
Well, they do right. This is the strategy. Well, they do the marketing before the brand strategic thinking is done. And I've worked with some of the people, that Josh is in there, to wait 10 steps before they figured out the value proposition, and especially small businesses, So I think that would be my, just one takeaway, and be really thoughtful in that process, and don't speed past that. That is the foundation for the content marketing that you do.
And one of the biggest places I would tell you to start is, and this is what I tell everyone to be able to, now for entrepreneurs, not so much on the corporate side, but your headline should speak not just to what you do, right? Like most who have founder, CEO, salesperson, director. I believe in, I help X to achieve Y so they can do Z. Because this speaks to someone that separates you out. I help X, that identifies who you work with, for someone else so they can do Y. This is what you do to help them so they can achieve Z. This is the outcome. This is why people buy. They buy because of what you do, the outcome of what you do, not for what you do, the results. So I help X to achieve Y so they can do Z. And I mean, if you can be able to say that, just like what Rachel was saying with branding, that's your why. When you can come up to someone and they go, what do you do? And I say, I help X to achieve Y so they do Z. That gives you not only, your own understanding, but allows someone else to understand you as well.
That's so true, because at the end of the day, it's all about the transformation. That's what people are, that's what you're looking to serve, to solve, and your customers' problem, their pain point. What are they going to get? How are they going to transform by using your service or product?
When they search LinkedIn, when they search LinkedIn, they're going to see all those and they're going to go, oh my God, that's me. Wow, that's exactly. Oh my God, I would love that result.
Exactly.
So that's what separates you out. When they search for whatever your service is and they see a whole bunch of names and it's owner, business, director, you'll stand out. And that's what it's about. You stand out because you know who you are. That way, then you can help who you need to help.
That's a perfect spot to end on. Okay, one more question though.
Of course. Because
this is the Passionpreneur series, and you both can answer. Have you found your passion?
I'm sitting next to it.
Oh, wonderful.
She is my everything. I mean, she's the reason why I'm able to do what I do on a daily basis. I mean, it really does allow, when you have someone to be able to come home to that loves sports you, knows you 100% of who you are 100% of the time, it makes the rest of the world easy.
That's
now
perfect.
It's over.
No, I'm not going to do it. Let's just
staying quiet.
Nothing I say is going to be okay for that. So we'll just leave it. I love you.
Well, thank you both so, so much. This was so informative. I truly, I cannot tell you how much I learned today and how much value you have given my audience. And I just really appreciate it and your time.
Thank you.
You so much.
All right, you guys. So as always, you're going to be receiving an email shortly after this broadcast, which will have all the information you need to stay connected to Rachel and Josh and Stand Out Authority, and to sign up for their next masterclass, because we all need this. It's also going to have a list of their favorite books, podcasts, mentors, people they admire that just might be a great example for you and someone for you to check out as well. You guys, thank you again for your time. I really appreciate it. And stay safe, stay well, your whole family. And I really hope to be in touch soon.
Thank you so much, Brandy.
Talk to you soon.
Have a great one. Bye, guys, and I will see you tomorrow.